Let me hit View up again, man. I don't know where he at, man. Let's see, man. Yo, View, where you at, bro?
Yeah, man. Man, I barely can hear you on my Bluetooth though, but hey man, I'm at March Madness, man.
You at March Madness, man. You know we got this show going on right now, man. You keep doing this, man, to me. I don't know why you keep doing it to me, man. We got Joel Cramer, man, the artist and the writer of HONZY and Joel, man. The children's story, man. Dope guy, man, from Ohio. And you missing out on, man?
Man, I had the security, man. You know, it's once in a lifetime opportunity, man. Can you imagine? No security and get to see the March Madness games, man. You know, I couldn't pass this up, man. And I'm sorry, I'm sorry. You know, Joel, great guy, man. His children's story, dope, man. The concept is awesome. Wish I could be there, but hey, I got this, man.
Yes, I know it's dope. HONZY and Joel, I know it's dope.
And you know what, man? Hold it down for me, man. You know you always do that, man. Appreciate your specs, man. Hey, I gotta go, man. It getting crunk, man. And LSU's turned up.
Yeah, man, whatever. Like, I do it, whatever. Man, LSU, man, I don't know. The girl squad, they might win it. I don't know.
Welcome back to the hood, and this is Showing the Green Box with Specs Thompson and the View. But you know, time and time again, he lets me down. This time, he really let me down. I really thought he was gonna show up, and he failed. But something to do with March Madness and had to do security and all kind of stuff. I don't know what's going on, but hey, that's him, man. We kind of used to him around here now. But hey, thanks, Joel, for coming on the show. You know,
Thank you very much for having me on here.
no problem, no problem. Tell people a little bit about you. Like, who are you? Who are you?
Okay, so I'm a Ohio resident. I have been doing comic books of my own since when I was 6 years old. I've been working on them. Professionally published for about 12 years now. So I work on a all ages friendly comic book, and I make children's books now. As of a few months ago, I've started doing that. Let's see what else. This is my full-time job that I do, is the
Okay.
comic thing. So um, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what to say.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's why I got questions for you, you know, help you get these answers out and whatnot. But
Yeah, yeah,
in my show, you know, I got four different segments of icebreaker questions that I have formulated from stuff
okay,
that I found and stuff that you told me ahead of time that I made questions around,
all right.
and so people get more about you and more intrigued in the books you put out and want to support you or follow you along your journey.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So my first segment is called breaking it down.
Okay.
And I don't know if you was able to chill in the green box when you was younger. You know, the electrical box that sit in front of neighborhoods. Do y'all have those?
Not in my neighborhood, but since I moved to this area I'm in now, I see them a lot more. So
Okay, okay.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah. So when I was younger, you know, we always like sitting on the green box. You know, hang out with friends and
mhm,
talk and break stuff down. So like in this
yeah.
case, in this segment, I'm gonna break your brain down so people get a better feel for who you are.
Okay.
All right. All right. So my first question is, if you can eliminate one thing from your daily routine, what would it be and why?
um, One thing. Does getting up too early count as a thing of part of your daily routine?
Hey,
Um, I am not a morning person. I never have been, even since I was a kid. I'm always the guy that stays up really late. When I became an adult, I tend to stay up till 3 or 4 in the morning. But now my wife has gone to first shift, so she and I are getting up at 6 in the morning, and
okay,
that to
okay.
me, that's torture. Coffee has become my best friend.
See,
But it's been good.
Mine's the same way. She gets up and she has to be at work at 5:30. So yeah, I
Oh
understand.
yeah, that hurts. That hurts.
Yeah.
So if I could get up later in the day, I would definitely do that. Go back to that. But I've been
Okay.
very productive in the mornings. I mean, I'm working on my comic all morning long, and like I said, with the coffee thing, I'm I'm good to go. So
All right.
yeah,
That's cool. That's cool.
yeah.
All right. All right. My next question: when
Mhm.
somebody finds out what do you do or where you're from, what question do they ask you typically?
Um, like the comic thing. Um, yeah, often it's a question of like, how did you get started, and they'll say things like, well, I've never met somebody that actually makes these comics before, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've, yeah. Is
That's
that
about it.
the question? I hope.
Yeah. Because people find out your people, I hear the same thing every now and then. People be like, "Oh, I never met nobody who actually make comics. I
Mhm.
didn't know you can do this," or inspiration that you see somebody young or somebody like me doing it. I hear
Mhm. Yeah.
it pretty often.
Yeah. And
Surprisingly, you know,
yeah. And you often get the whole, well, I can't even draw stick figures, so
yeah, that thing, yeah.
yeah.
Um, what is the last thing you completed that you proud of?
Let's see. Last thing. I did a 4-page mini comic for um, a compilation that other artists in this area are working on.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I don't have it in front of me, but I guess probably my latest issue, which was number 21. Let me there.
Okay.
So, um, so yeah, it's roughly about 48 pages long. So most of my books tend to be that long. So yeah, I'm really proud of how it's coming along. I mean,
That's good. Yeah, 21. That's long. That's a long way. So you're doing pretty good.
yeah, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. What can I say? Yeah,
Hey, as long as you enjoy it, man, that's all that counts. You right.
exactly.
Well, that's the end of that segment. Hopefully people got a good little feel of you just a little bit.
Hmm.
Now I'm gonna go to my next segment.
Okay.
Being in comics, you should know this one. It's called the back issues.
Okay.
Yeah, so typically, if you want to know about a character, you go into their back issues. So if you want to know more about Dick Tracy, you go to his back issues, learn more about his origin story.
Hmm.
So for this segment, we're gonna go into your back issues to learn more
Oh,
about your origin story.
cool. I like it. Yeah.
All right, all right. Where are you from, and what do you call your hood?
My hood.
Yep.
um. Well, are you familiar with the Ohio area at all? Or
I spent some time in Cincinnati and Mason.
okay. Okay. I'm from originally about an hour north of Columbus.
Okay, I've been to
And
Columbus too, but I haven't really like mingled around the area. Yeah.
oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm from that area originally. Traveled around, and we eventually settled in this area. We're now in the Hilliard area, which is a part of Columbus, like a smaller town part of Columbus. Um, yeah. So
All right. I believe it was Ohio. Marijuana is legal there, right?
I think so. I've never actually done it myself.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I heard that I heard then recently that when it became legal or whatever, people just start buying up all the farmland to start growing it.
that sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, what about all the corn?
Yeah, really. That's one thing we definitely have is cornfields around here.
Yeah,
Everywhere.
I know.
Yeah.
Um, what was your first encounter with music?
With music. Okay. Mostly my dad and my older brother like were really big into like the Beatles and like the '60s music, so I kind of grew up around that sort of thing. Um, I didn't really get into like the modern stuff till when I was in high school. I just had no interest in it really. I mean, and it's funny. Right around that time, I discovered the '80s music finally, which was we're talking late '90s, and I'm like, I've never heard these great songs before. Wow, I missed a whole decade of stuff. So, so I guess I'm like just into everything music wise. I mean, I dabble with everything. So
Are you
if
still
I go, I lean more toward like the hard rock stuff. But yeah,
all right? So you still listen to 80s music, or you listen to more modern stuff now?
a little bit of both. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Okay. What was your first encounter with comics or comic related TV show?
Okay. Let's see. Comics was our school library in elementary school had for whatever reason they had a Spider-Man encyclopedia. there.
Okay.
And they had like a Fantastic Four one and an Avengers one, and I don't know what led me to them, but I'm like, these look interesting. I started flipping through them, and I was hooked right away. It's just like, oh man, I love this. This is good stuff. Like these are such cool characters, and wanted to find out more. And we didn't have a comic shop near me at the time, so I couldn't really go out and buy anything yet. But
Mhm.
I was so intrigued by what I was seeing. I'm like, oh my goodness, yeah.
Okay.
And then
Uh,
from there, I also like got into like um, Garfield, Peanuts, like the more comedic comic stuff. Yeah. So
mhm.
I guess those are my early influences. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Since you were so intrigued at an early age and wasn't really too fond of music to like high school, so
Mhm.
my next question is, when did you find out that you was a nerd?
Oh my. Very early age. In kindergarten, I was making up stories, about me going on these adventures and stuff. And one of my main characters is actually based on a toy dragon that my grandma bought me at a garage sale.
Hmm.
And I wrote these stories about me and this dragon going around and um, saving the universe and going on these fantastic trips through space and all this stuff. And it was what inspired the books I do now. I mean, so I guess at a very early age, I realized that there was no hope.
Really?
In that. I was going,
No hope, huh?
yep, yep.
I mean, I mean, so have you took some of those like those adventures into your
Mhm.
new stories, or you still have them?
Yeah, I still have the old copies. Yeah, I've been trying to preserve them as best as possible. I still have that dragon.
Oh man,
Yeah, he's up on a shelf, preserved, of course, but I've still
hey,
got him. Yeah, I try to incorporate at least elements of those old stories in there. Obviously, I update them and stuff, but
hmm,
yeah, like the core themes and stuff are still there for sure. Like, and the characteristics of the original characters are definitely there.
cool,
So
cool, cool. All right, well that's in your back issues. Hopefully, people got a good chuckle out your origin story right there.
mhm, mhm,
Next, I'm gonna go my next segment, which has a double meaning.
mhm,
Uh, one could be a music turn, one could be a comic book turn. First, with the music, well, the segment is called the hotkeys. So, in music, the DJs they can have these buttons on their turntables, which are called hotkeys, and they'll
mhm.
press that button when they want to play a specific part of a song during the night when they DJing,
Right.
or a specific song at a specific point in time. Like they want to play a song right at 12 o'clock. As soon as it
Mhm.
hit 12, they press a button, the song drops. And everybody
Right.
gets
Right.
live.
I got
Also
you.
in comic books, hotkeys are also special issues that you want to get graded and framed and put up, like
Mhm.
first appearances, uh, first things that something happened or misprints or something, or first time an artist or a writer got on a book.
Mhm.
So in this segment, you're gonna present certain topics and certain subjects that you want people to know more about you specifically, so they can take it
Okay.
with you. Yeah.
Sure. Sure. I got you. Okay.
All right, so um, you make you make all age friendly books in general, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what is your methods on making those kid friendly books? I know it's a little bit harder because you had to find like your age group for that.
Right.
So, like,
Right.
how did your methods do that?
Um. Yeah. Trying to think how to describe this. I don't know. I guess maybe because I've always thought like a kid. Um, Uh. hmm. Sorry, I need just a minute here to think how I'm going to say this. Um. So basically, when I set out to write a story, I consider the idea of the parents and the kids sitting together reading this story.
Okay.
So I started to throw jokes in there that the parents will catch, but um, at the same time make it accessible to the kids as well, if that makes sense.
Kind of like Pixar.
Yeah, yeah, like that. Yeah, and I guess one of the overall arching thing is I consider my mom reading this book, and I'm like, would she be upset if I put something like that in? But yeah, and it helps that my wife she looks at the books as well while I'm working on them because she's pretty good with kids too, and she kind of thinks on their level too. And so I'll show her something and be like, "Is this going too far?" Like, kind of thing. And so that helps as well in the process. But basically, I try to write to what the kid in me would have enjoyed at that age, if that helps. Makes
Yeah,
sense.
what age is your book?
I say generally anybody that can read would enjoy it, but I would say if I had to think like a specific one, probably elementary to middle school area, for
Okay.
sure. So,
Since you have a kids friendly book,
mhm.
so when you present your books, do you shop them more towards the parents or shop more towards the children?
um, depending on the situation, sometimes the parents are there shopping for their kids, and the kids aren't even around. So, but if like the kids are there, I tend to shop it more towards them. So,
Okay, okay.
'cause more than likely they'll be the ones reading it more than the
Yeah.
parents. But in some cases, like I said, you have the parents that read with the kids. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Have you been to like any schools or libraries because of your books?
Let's see. A couple years ago, I was invited to a elementary school where I first read one of the small books to the preschoolers, or
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the preschoolers, and then the next period they had me come over to like the first through fifth grade, and I read one of the books to them, and then afterward I answered their questions like, how do you make these books? And of course they were able to buy any they wanted off me and stuff. But yeah, I just sat down with them and answered any questions they had about getting started, what to do, like who to go see when you're old enough to get published, kind of thing. So basically, my journey I shared with them. So as far as libraries go, I haven't had an opportunity yet, but I'm definitely looking to
Okay.
for anybody out there that's interested.
I know. I now seen a couple of people around here, and where
Hmm.
I'm at, I'm in Georgia. Do the
Okay.
library thing,
Hmm.
and small shops was just reading. I guess like it'd be like a pop up shop or like a signing
Hmm.
type thing, but you just read your book to
Yeah.
them. But dialogue wise, how do you, I guess, dumb down the dialogue or set? So you say you had elementary to middle school.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean some kids do, but of course a second grader is not gonna read the same book as a seventh grader. So how do you fit the dialogue and themes for a different age bracket?
Um, what I basically try to go with is being an '80s kid. I think of what kind of stuff would you see on like a Saturday morning cartoon,
Okay.
like that kind of maturity level, I guess is the word I would think of.
Mhm.
I try to write it in that kind of terms, like or like the old Ducktales, Disney Afternoon stuff. I try to remember like what kind of things, the kind of dialogue, kind of stuff they had back in those days. Yeah, and that's how I try to make it accessible for everybody. I hope that made sense.
It do.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Let me see. I got any questions before I jump into your actual book. Um. Um. You tell you had an early reader book. So is that like the preschool book, or that's the same book? Like, is that different for your titles?
It's totally different title.
Okay.
I have three out right now. They're not in any way related to each other.
Hmm.
Basically, the way it started is I was at a baby shower for our pastor's daughter.
Hmm.
And the theme that day was like you're supposed to take a letter and just draw a picture to go with it, like W
Yeah, I've been
for
there.
whale. That
Yeah.
kind of,
Yeah.
being the artist that I am and being whatever, I filled up each page with like multiple characters and such. And it went over so well that she said to me, if you were to make a book of this, doing the whole alphabet, I would be happy to get it from you. So I'm like, well, I've never thought about doing that before. So I made the first one, and it's gone over so well with so many parents that are teaching their kids to read, that kind of thing. So I've since branched out from an ABC to a colors to a a numbers book. I have a shapes one in mind that I'm going to do. Yeah, so it's basically for the kids that are learning to read, like learning their shapes, that kind of thing. Like I said, very early age. But
And do you have children yourself?
sorry,
Do you have children yourself?
I do not. I do not.
Okay.
No, my wife and I never had kids. So
All right. All right. Now I'm gonna dive into your website link. You can see me so you can talk about some of these things I see on here.
okay.
All right. Let me go back. All right. So this right here. This is your series right here.
Yes.
And what's the title of it?
It's called Adventures of HONZY and Joel. HONZY is the pygmy dragon you see on the lower right there, or the lower left. That guy right there is
right here.
Yeah, the little guy down here. Yeah.
Okay.
And then Joel would be the guy in the black coat there with his gun drawn. They're detectives. So.
All right. So what's this series about?
Okay. So as it's showing there, basically back in ancient times, two warring alien factions came down to Earth and battled. But the one side that was basically fighting for good was losing the battle. And so in a desperate attempt, they took animals and turned them into animal people using ancient technology, which then turned the tide of the war. Following that, we've come to the modern day where those animal people now are part of society. And so humans and animal people are living together. But you still have the effects of that alien technology there. And so this is a detective team that they go around and deal with alien forces and supervillains, mad scientists, mermaids.
Oh my!
I'm a nerd. All kinds of crazy stuff is in there. So, but
all right.
Yeah,
so who are these detectives right here? So who's the big guy?
All right, that big guy is an alien. His name is Claw. You meet him in issue number 1. He actually comes down to get assistance from a alien that he's dealing with, and he becomes part of the team. He's there in secret, like nobody else in the city knows that he's there, so they're kind of trying to keep him under wraps, but it's getting harder and harder as time goes. That guy in the middle there, that's Joel sitting in the black coat. Sitting at the desk is Kara. That's his girlfriend, and she's also a detective.
All right.
And that over there is Copper. He's a dog person. He and Joel were roommates in college. And Joel was a police officer at the time, and they now are, Joel's now become a full-fledged detective. Copper's their pilot when they go on overseas missions, that kind of thing. So, yeah. And then here's a nice little description of everybody, kind of tells you who's who, what they do. And on the right there, I have a slideshow taken straight from the books themselves, just showing you them in action.
And you're a writer and artist of these books?
Yes.
All right. So you had 20. So earlier you said you had a comic and you have books. So are they the same universe or are two different things?
The comic is in its universe by itself. The children's books, the early reading has nothing to do with. Is that what you're referring to, or?
So these are so what I'm looking at right here. This is the comic book.
Yeah, those are taken straight from the comic book. Yeah.
And the books are the early readers, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Sorry for the confusion.
It's all good. So how long you been doing this?
Officially, I have been self-publishing since 2011.
Okay.
As I mentioned earlier, I've been writing these stories since I was 6 years old. I mean, some of these characters are new; they've come up in recent years, but the core characters of HONZY and Joel have existed since I was 6 years old. So, HONZY's the name I gave to the toy dragon that I owned. So, but yeah, and here's right on this page is a little bit of a teaser on the right there, just showing you like the actual pages from the comics themselves, and a quick description. And I self-publish on Indie Planet. You can get the books in digital or book format, depending on how you like it.
Why'd you choose Indie Planet versus like Amazon or Barnes & Noble or something like that, or your own website?
I just didn't know how to set it up on my own website. I published through a service called Kablam.
Okay.
And their sister site is Indie Planet, so they kind of handle that part for me. But as you scroll down, you'll see that eventually there's Amazon links. I've started publishing on Kindle now as well.
Okay.
So
You ever thought about doing like little app game to go with your books since it's based around children?
I have thought about that. I wasn't sure how to get started, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, apparently, I mean, I know creator he made a fighting game based off of his comic.
Oh, that
So
would
I
be
mean,
cool. That'd be
apparently it's easy. I guess you just gotta find the right people. But
Hmm.
yeah, I think yours would be pretty good.
Yeah,
I can see it being like either like a storyboard type app game or
hmm.
like a door to explore type thing. They can, since they're detectives, they can be like, do y'all see this, that, and third, and you know they kids
Gotcha.
can like
Yeah,
touch the screen. Yeah,
I got you. Yeah, yeah. It's something to think about. Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
yeah. What about little animated videos? You thought about that as well?
Oh, I would love to do that. I would love to do that. When I first started writing these stories way back when, that was one of the first things I thought of is, man, to someday make this into a cartoon show would be so cool. So,
Yeah,
but
because I mean, your art. I mean, I see your art style, but you're very consistent in it. So I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure you can do it yourself because
thank you.
in many episodes you got, you stay consistent. So I mean,
Mhm.
you got down packed. So yeah, you can easily turn this into something easily. But have you ever took this to Kickstarter and crowdfunding?
I've been thinking about it, but again, I need to do more research into it. I've been so focused on just getting the books that I need to like. It's something I definitely need to work on is the marketing for sure. Yeah, getting
Also,
getting my name out there and stuff. So
so how have you been marketing it?
mostly word of mouth. Also, I will go around to small comic shows in the area, set up a table. Sometimes craft shows, which is one of the craft shows is where I found out about that elementary school. They actually invited me to come
Oh,
that
that's
time.
cool. That's cool.
Um, yeah, I need to branch out. I know I need to start making like videos and stuff to help advertise. So,
Yeah, I see you got merchandise. I see you got a shirt on.
oh, thank you. Yeah, let me show you the full picture. The picture's actually right there on the website, but yeah,
Okay.
it's got the title and stuff.
Yeah. See, you taking the steps. So you see,
Yeah,
some people don't got that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool though. That's cool. Um, that's I mean that's all I got for your hotkeys. You know.
Okay.
Are you thinking about any other titles to do in the future?
Any other type of sorry, what
Titles?
titles? I did have in mind a graphic novel that would be more of a sci-fi story. Definitely be I know I'm gonna say this. It's gonna sound wrong. More adult. I don't mean like sexual stuff or anything like that. I just mean like it'd be more serious in tone. Um, Probably more realistic looking, maybe a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea is just to have like a graphic novel in general. I've always wanted to do one. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I know it'd be a lot of work, but I think it'd be a lot of fun. So
No, that's dope. That's dope.
I've had the characters in mind for a long time. I have the general story mapped out. It's just I've got them designed. It's just taking the time to do it. So
Also be good. Just thinking how your characters look in your children's book.
mhm.
Get clay like the old Gumby stuff. You can do
Oh,
like stop motion with that because
hey, there's an idea.
yeah, they're so easy to create. You can mold that yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, that's you give me what to think about here. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was gonna show you my 3D figure of my character, but
Ah,
I was like 3D figure. He just mold his together, like get some clay, and kids love watching that. My kids love watching just random stuff like that on TV, so that works. But
yeah, that'd be cool.
yeah, that's the
Yeah,
end of my
that's an avenue I never even thought about.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, yeah, that's the end of my hotkeys for you. So hopefully, people take that into consideration and
Yeah,
jump into your website and get a couple of their books for their kids and whatnot.
yeah. Thank you.
Then go to the end of the show. My last segment is called "Digging in the Crates." Again, it's a two-parter.
Okay.
Music. The DJs or music lovers will go dig in the crates, find the vinyls or find
Mhm.
the CDs. They love whatever.
Oh
And
yeah.
also in comic books the same way. They'll go to comic book shop and dig in
Oh
all
yeah.
the
Oh,
boxes of comics and
oh
find
my,
that
yeah.
one issue. They bring them back. Maybe you can find that Spider-Man encyclopedia, you know,
Right,
in
right,
there or
right.
whatnot. But these are basic questions, you know, like I guess a little bit deep thought, you know, like Nobel Prize type of questions, type like that, so people can, you know, end the show with something you really thought about and really explain. So I can give you two questions.
Okay.
Um, if you could have been a writer on a children's TV show that was or artist, or I guess animator really,
Mhm.
on a children's TV show that came out or is out, or you want to come out, what would it been? And what would you be in, the writer or animator, or what would you be on?
Um, Part of the reason I started making comics is I wanted to be a writer when I was younger, but I didn't like the idea of having to do all that description and you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Writing out all that describing the scene. It's like if I can just draw it and show you instead, yeah. Maybe I'm being lazy, I don't know, but I just always kind of I liked illustrating the stories I made, but I enjoyed the illustrating more than the writing part.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely, to answer your question, I think I would lean probably more toward being a artist. Um, wow, what show? The one that comes to mind right off the bat is the '80s DuckTales.
DuckTales, okay.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that show inspired me so much for the talking animals that I have in my books. The fact that my characters go on these epic quests around the world, fighting and dealing with whatever like ancient stuff and just the wild stuff they get into, like dealing with aliens and shrink rays and car chases, you name it. All the stuff that was in there, just it shows in my books, like for sure. So yeah, if I could work on that show, oh man, that would be cool.
Did you read the comics coming up or any of the books?
Um, like what books did I read when I was younger? Or?
No, the DuckTales ones.
Oh, the Ducktales books. I read the most recent Boom Studios ones that
Okay,
came out
okay.
a few years ago, especially the Darkwing Duck reboot that came out there for a while.
Well, it's still
Yeah,
out. It's I think, well, I don't know it's Boom, but I know I was in a comic book shop last week. I think it's on like issue 3 or 4, so it's fairly still new.
oh, they're still working on it. Okay,
Yeah.
cool, cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'll have to look into that. Yeah.
Since you're a DuckTales fan, uh, Donald Duck, is
Yeah.
he their uncle, or what is that? What is he?
Now, see, that's confusing because you have Uncle Scrooge and Uncle
Yeah.
Dan. So, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Donald calls him Uncle Scrooge, so it's like, now wait a minute,
Yeah.
how does that work? But yeah, I've always thought of him as the uncle, but yeah, it's very confusing those titles. I think so.
Yeah, just like the girl from Darkwing Duck. I always thought that was the same girl from the pink shirt from DuckTales.
Yeah, Goslin and Webigail. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because the pilot, he's also
Mhm.
in Darkwing Duck.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, just
Exactly.
little things like that, you know. But with me, if I could, it won't be. I want to do if I was gave a opportunity. My last show, I said I would do Hong Kong Fooey.
Mm,
But if
yeah, yeah.
live animation, I hope they do it. But I don't know what Disney doing now. I want them to do a live animation of Tailspin.
Oh my, yes, that was a good
Yeah,
one too. Oh
yeah.
man,
But I don't know if it'd be too dark, no, because the Jungle Book was like real kind of dark, but it was still Disney. But
right?
imagine like the Baloo. Was it what's his name? Baloo still?
Yeah, yeah. Baloo
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the Jungle Book. Yeah, yeah,
No, I mean and Tailspin.
yeah. You were talking about the bear pilot, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
that's,
imagine him,
that's Baloo, yeah,
yeah, getting shot at and stuff, you know, by space. I mean,
right.
air pilots, I guess, plane pilots.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be a little bit too dark, but I don't know. It might fit right in. You know?
Maybe. Yeah,
Yeah, the Mandalorian is not too dark, so I mean, it's still Disney,
yeah.
so
That's a
it
good
works.
show too. That's a great show. Yeah.
Yeah. If your book would got picked up by any network, what network would you allow you give you a contract for to adapt your book?
Oh man, good question. um, I feel like probably the kind of maybe the best fit would probably maybe be either Nickelodeon or Disney. I'm not. I'm kind of hesitant with the Disney thing. I feel like they're they're getting too big with stuff.
Oh, they
Um,
big. They're big.
yeah, for sure.
Once they took
Yeah,
over Fox, I was like, yeah, it's over with.
yeah. um, yeah, I guess one of those two. If I had to choose, I feel like they would it'd be a good fit for those two. I don't know if I could decide between the two necessarily, but um, I think I would definitely have to negotiate creative control to some
Yeah,
degree. You know, I don't know. I like Disney and all, but there's sometimes I'm just like, I don't know.
yeah.
That makes sense, but
I have a true story. I haven't began to even write anything for it, but it's
yeah.
kind of spacey, I guess. And
Good.
it's three characters,
Huh?
uh, but they would teach people about music at the
Oh,
same time teach kids, about letters, colors, shapes, all that stuff.
cool. Great.
But see, I thought about the same thing about Disney, Nickelodeon, and all that
Mhm.
stuff. I thought about like PBS.
Hey,
it,
there you go.
yeah, people still like it's still going, and it's a
Yeah,
free broadcast. Like you got my
true.
kids watch the Cat Hat from there. I grew up watching Arthur.
Mm,
Off of there.
mhm.
Like we watched a lot of stuff off of PBS. And it was just channel 3 or 4, like the basic stuff, but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
has so many long running shows on there as well, and
Oh, man, yeah.
I figured they also have a gateway more towards kids, maybe like maybe the schools let you watch that on TV more than they pop on the Disney Channel. They
Yeah,
put on PBS and it's boom. They know everything's okay with that one, but
yeah, that's a good point, yeah.
yeah, but I don't know where the PBS building even at. So like
Yeah, I'm not sure how you'd contact them, but yeah, that would yeah.
I'm here in Georgia. We got the Turner building right there. For
Oh,
TBS and CNN and all that stuff. But I
mhm,
never heard anybody say, "Oh yeah, that's the PBS building right there." So I never seen
yeah.
that. But yeah,
I don't know if I've ever seen it here in Columbus either, but I could be
yeah.
wrong.
So
I
where's
might
it
have
at?
seen it at some point.
Yeah, where is it at?
Yeah, couldn't tell you.
Yeah. But that's it, man. That's all I got for my show.
Yeah,
Hopefully, people learn more about you and your works, and want to grab your children's store, or want to hire you to do something for them, like that person from
yeah,
Baby Shower did.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
If anybody want to follow you or purchase your books or do anything, where can they do that at?
Well, you can go to joelkramercomics.com, which is let me show you. It's pretty simple, just my name and .com. Let me see. And then I'm on Facebook under I think it's just Hanzi and Joel. It's like facebook.com/Hanzi and Joel.
Okay.
Um, if you go there, I'm trying to do weekly updates on how the books are coming. Sometimes I'll do images straight out of whatever I'm working on at the time. I keep updates on which shows I'm going to, where you can find me. I'm also on Twitter at I think it's just Joel Kramer Comics, but it's COMIX in that case. But and again with that one, I just do a weekly update. I'm not big on Twitter really, but I try to stay on there at least to keep people informed of what I'm up to, like how the next book's coming and stuff. So.
Okay. Okay.
And you can look up my books on Kindle as well, indieplanet.com. Just look for Hanzi and Joel. Every book is up there so far. But,
All
yeah.
right. All right. That's cool, man. Hey, thanks for coming on, man. I
Yeah,
enjoyed it. Enjoy it.
yeah.
I
Thank you
think you're
very
the
much.
first person on a show with a children's book, I believe. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Specs had connection issues, so I had to close the show out. Come back from on my trip, just close the show out. But hey, Joel was a great guest. His story, Hanzi and Joel, great man, great concept, man. Y'all like the artwork and anything about it. And make sure you go to his website, support him and buy a book. Also, man, you want to read my book, The Legacy of the View, you can go legacyview.com to purchase that and read that as well. And you just want to follow me on the journey, it's legacyview.com. Legacy View on Instagram, social media, all that, my bad. And you want to follow Specs, when he got connection, Specs 706. And you want to be a part of our show? Hit us up at Chill in the Green Box. And we're out.